Hi Shirley. Hi Shirley. Let me just 1 sec. I'm just going to turn my. Hi Shirley. Okay, so I'm just at your portfolio. It's on my phone. I'm stuck at the moment. It's a really crappy situation. Um, Let me go through this with you. So it's only on my phone, so I can't see the detail. So I really, really apologize. I'll scroll through first. Okay. So initially, yeah, in fact, I'll scroll through first all the way through it. Okay. Now, assuming these are like you haven't moved these around because hopefully they're time based, as in that's the oldest or something. Um, okay. And painting my phone, but here we go. Okay, so this is quite beautiful. I like how you've sculpted the forms on it. I can see you using I think it's substance painter for it, which is quite nice. Um, and you've painted some of it, and you've also yeah. I like how you've done some of this. The sculpting sharp planes is quite nice. It works quite well. I think your composition is a little bit difficult with it though, but it's okay. As in you've got the clearest lines on the ab. Um, However, it doesn't really define anywhere else, and therefore that's the look point, and therefore it feels unusual because there's the clearest point. Um, Basically, so that which is quite cool. But as I said, it's because of that, it doesn't really give you the whole character. Basically that's so well defined just at that point. You really need a look point of where you want to look at, specifically, and ideally it's not just that rib cage. Really, ideally it's supposed to be the face, and therefore you'd ideally have more definition in the face area, and the rest of it less of an eye draw. Fundamentally, I would the face up the central stage. If you look at, and therefore I would reduce. I'd keep that where you have that bit there. I'd keep that in the same kind of definition of that there, in the same kind of sculpt lines and plane, basically. Um, if you look at this here, it's quite a nice face. It's not that bad. Um, I would argue in the previous works, but if I show you this here, let's go back to it. How about that one? I would argue you'd need a little bit more definition on that one, on facial design. Maybe even a study of making all facially crochet. Where it's just like the muscles of the face and the skeleton or something like that would really work. So you build a skeleton first, or even get a scan of a skeleton, you get that online, or even build a skeleton and then build the muscles on it, and then even build the skin afterwards, just for an idea of the definitions. Like you tend to not really think about that much when you do a whole face. Um, so there's that. So we go back to the other one, that one. It's actually quite a lot better. Um, Even there. But it still would help to have an crochet, kind of style to it. Is it called an crochet? Where the muscles are, mapped out and so on as a sculpt would work really well. Um, Otherwise, it's quite a nice model. For stylized, it's quite nice. I think there's an issue with the composition where I would like it more highlighted in the face as well. You've done the same thing there. Uh, it's a difficulty, but it's quite nice. And also, I think the texturing is okay, but I think it's just going to take time and practice. I think you can see how you've grown um, with that facial stuff anyway. To say you know where you need to go and you know what you're doing, and you get into it. No, basically. So there's that. Just watch substance paint. I'll go back to the pictures. I'm not going to same one. Substance paint is a real problem if you misuse it or if you use it as the basics, and you get that kind of look to it with the highlights. Basically. And it works relatively okay, but you've got to really watch that because people are like, oh, just use substance paint and just bops on a couple of things and that's it. And it looks cheap in that kind of manner. You just got to watch that. Look at stylized works, basically, and try and reproduce them. The cartoons you're trying to reproduce yourself, look at them and try and reproduce them in Substance Painter rather than relying on those out of the box highlights. Okay, so there's that. It's the same, slightly the same with the paint over and stuff like that. Just basically get reference and copy the reference for what you're trying to achieve. Okay, so there's that. Okay. Oh, it's got a. Am I still recording? I've got an animation. You got some good stuff here. I would recommend learning Marvelous Designer. I think it. Oh, have you here? I'm not certain. No, you haven't. I would recommend getting Marvelous Designer, even with stylized. In fact, you can actually use Marvelous Designer and then resculpt it afterwards to make it more stylized, but you get the correct folds. You know, like you've done with the abs and the chest, you can do that on a Marvelous Designer character. So I really recommend that. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't go back any further, but you've got some very good stuff. And if you I mean, this is quite beautiful, and this is quite beautiful in definition of oh yeah, I mean, I put my phone inside and very beautiful texture. You have the same. I'm sorry to say this. You have the same problem with your last character as you have here, even with your composition, with your texturing. It's really interesting, but you're doing exactly the same thing. Maybe as simple as the blacks to the highlights, you know, on it, that kind of slight starkness to it, which you have even with the reds to the darks, very large tonal areas, which works. But you have the same thing on your last character. I mean, this is beautifully textured, but you do have an issue, especially the inner highlight, the inner of it. But if you look at it here, you have the same thing there. And that's just something to watch out for. I'm letting you know you have that, and pay attention to it, because and study, and therefore study more that way also. Those large highlight areas that you have from the blacks to the whites, you do the same over here. It's interesting because people's personality tend to be. It is a reflection of your own personality that you hopefully may giggle at. But you can see the same even on this character. So you just pay attention to that and research and study, which as you've done with the face and learn. So you have a broader range, you know, basically later. That's about it. I won't go. I like that. That's quite nice. That was taking a really long time. Right. Okay, that's really good. It's brilliant you can do that kind of stuff. This is the most important thing for me. Yeah, that's really brilliant. That's not so bad at all. Yeah. I wouldn't have minded seeing some work on the metal, even edge wear on the sides. But it really isn't that bad. See what I mean? Like you could have done with a bit of edge wear on the sides of the metal work. Trim dynamic on the metal work would work. On the and so on. And you know, what you should try on these as well. If you have each separate block, and you see there, you can see a definition where it says it's only about 500,000 polys or something for that block at the top. I would really consider saying, okay, go to Dynamesh, put clay polish on, hit clay polish at a high level, not too high that you crash the computer, but at a decent level that gets you roughly the same results. And actually, it'll increase slightly the definition, but it'll also polish the work so you have more stronger lines. Basically, you know, which will really work really well for you. That would improve that by 100%. If you just have at the end when you've done everything, test it, do a clay polish on a Dynamesh. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, basically. Yeah, that would really work for you. All right, anyway, that's it. Another issue I have here is those rivets are painted on. They shouldn't be. They should be part of the mesh, basically. So there's that. Yeah, but it's lovely. Okay. So there's that. And then these ones, which are quite nice. I think you mentioned these, and I think, yeah, these kind of tune shaders, they work, but you still have to have an underlying kind of texture in it. But these work. These are really lovely. They work for whatever it was for. You could have them on a mobile game without a problem. You know, basically. Yeah, they work really. They work. They can work in the game industry without an issue. In all honesty. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Watch your topology as well. It's not bad, but That's a little bit messy, especially with folds and everything and movement. Study up that, study topology a little bit more, also like you've done the face. I can say that because I see how you've improved. Same with that. I don't know how old these models is, but the wireframes quite bad. So study up, basically. Smoothing, things like that, spacing, where it's supposed to have clumps and so on. Just study up with that, definitely. How it folds, all that kind of stuff. Right. Okay, that's about it. But literally, I mean, you could get. I don't know if I got your portfolio here. No, I don't think I can get to it from here. Anyway, it's actually really good work. I don't know how long you've been working for and whether you're in the industry yet or not. But you got a lot there. I'd remove that one from here. But, it's nice though. I understand. Let's put it that way. But oh, good Lord, I didn't know these were here. Well, that's a real shame. I'd cut out that picture, have that as the top picture on your portfolio, okay? That one as the top picture, and cut out that one, basically. That's really great. In fact, you've got the original sculpts here. Yeah, it's the same thing as I said. Yeah. In fact, you see what I mean by that? It's not so bad, but it's too much. Trim dynamic. Well, I guess it's up to you. Actually, trim dynamic. It's like I said, using trim dynamic or something on the side is okay. That's a little bit too much. You're not seeing where the edge wear would be on the stylized, which is okay. Just learning. Use your reference. That's all. It's nice. It's really nice. All right. That's all I've got for you. I haven't done one of these in a while, but I've got nothing to do right now, so do one. I'll do one. And that's it. So thank you. And I'm gonna have to trim this slightly so you don't see it on my phone screen. And I'll see you later. And have a good day. And hopefully that's a help for you. But I can't see your resume here, so I don't know if you're in work or not now. And I'm here. If you ever want me to check out another piece, the next piece you do, contact me again. Okay. But you've got some really good stuff there. In fact, let's just look at this again. Yeah, I would consider re-rendering this one, better composition. That one, basically. But the rest are pretty cool. As I said. Right. Anyway, I'll leave you to it. So thank you. And bye. Okay, bye.